What up, everybody? It's your boy Agent. I'm back here once again. The day after the Michigan game, as they took on Northwestern down in Wrigley Field, and it still looks cool to see playing at Wrigley Field where the Chicago Cubs play. But Michigan took on Northwestern as their stadium's getting redone and they're getting a new stadium. But Michigan went down there and made the game close and made the game, shall I say, interesting. Survive and advance. That is a definition of what Michigan pulled off yesterday. They win in dramatic fashion on a 31-yard field goal by Dominic Zaveda. Walk off 24-22 in a game where I feel like Michigan was in control of this game. And what do you know? They were 10.5-point favorites coming to this game. And we know they never cover big spreads, but it just seems like they played on to their competition. But early in this game, Michigan gets the ball first and get in the red zone, but they take 2 sacks. They take 2 sacks on that opening drive. A holding penalty negated. It was Jordan Marshall touchdown. Then Zaveda misses another field goal. He missed another one later in the game. And that was right before the end of the half. It was like a 60-yard field goal. But it's 6 misses on the year coming to a guy who was clutch, in my opinion, who was elite. In my opinion, the best kicker in college. But he's just been off this year. And special teams altogether has just been awful. Just an F plus or F minus plus, whatever you want to give it, but just very bad. So Michigan ends up scoring in that first half, 7-6 at the half. Bryce start off this game was phenomenal, man, phenomenal. The first half, 15 for 24, 189 yards. Andrew Marsh has been his go-to guy and continues to establish himself. 9 catches for 135 yards on 11 targets in that first half. Michigan had 4 penalties for 25 yards in that first half. And that's all they ended up having in the game. And Michigan ended up, kind of back-to-back drives in the second half, coming out strong. Bryce gets a read option, touchdown. Then Northwestern gets a field goal. And then Michigan comes back down and gets another score. It's 21-9 at that point, and then this is kind of where the game shifts. It's a 2nd and 20. Northwestern converts to the receiver wild, and then they going down and score 21-16. And this is when the game goes to complete disaster for Michigan. What could have been crucial. And then, mind you, in that third quarter, where early in that quarter, Samaj Morgan fumbles the football as well. So that's another special teams bath by him and the special teams. And then earlier in that first half, Michigan tried to run a reverse fake, and Marsh got hit and fumbled. So that was 2 turnovers right there. And now here's where things get to avalanche and snowball for Michigan. Let's finish this game with 5 turnovers, 2 missed field goals, and find a way to win. It's crazy. But Bryce throws a pick when it's 21-16. Northwestern gets inside their 10 and ends up scoring. Go up 22-21. They missed a 2-point conversion. Then Michigan's driving again. Bryce is running the RPO, and he throws it to Robert Fitzgerald. Just stares him down, and he gets it. So that's another drive start. Michigan ends up, defense gets a stop. Michigan gets the ball back. They're driving down, going forward on 4th down. And then what do you know? Between Bryson Kuzdal and Bryce, the handoff's not good, and that play stopped right there. But the biggest play defensively, the defense kept coming up play after play after play after play. And that is Jordan Young, the true freshman. It is blitz, is 0 blitz coverage. He's one-on-one. They try to pick him up after him, and he knocks the ball down. And was the biggest play. And this defense was elite today, holding Northwestern to 245 yards. A Northwestern team who's not good, but the Komofade, the running back, is pretty good. Caleb Komofade, Northwestern's running back, is pretty good. Preston don't do too much. I know Michigan didn't have no turnovers. That's crazy. No sacks, and was able to hold Northwestern to 22 points. And the defense did their thing, and they did what they needed to do. And Michigan gets the ball back. And then, mind you, drive before Jordan Marshall gets hurt, falls down on his shoulder. Did not look good. Didn't return to the game. But Bryson Kuzdal, the junior running back, is a former walk-on. He comes in and he plays pivotal. We're talking about Michigan's down to the 3rd string guy. He comes down and is pivotal. 15 carries, 53 yards. He had 18 yards on the last drive, and it was a physical game. He was beat up towards the end of the drive, and Michigan's able to drive down there and score a touchdown. And on that game when the drive also, Andrew Marsh, again, it's a 3rd down and long. He comes up with a double toe tap, NFL catch on the sideline. He was phenomenal today, asserting himself. 12 catches, 189 yards. for Andrew Marsh. He is turning into the go-to guy. Next closest guy was McCulley for 4 for 59. He's been wearing that one, but he has nothing. I know he got banged up last game, but it is clear Andrew Marsh is the guy going forward, and we need another guy to pair with him and to help him in his future. The him and Bryce connection is great, but shout out to the guys for being able to rally and finish this game. And I don't know what happened with Bryce. He was off to a great start. Pocket presence was there. A lot of RPOs. Sometimes on the RPOs, he likes to stare down his receivers, and that's what got him in trouble, forcing the ball in the traffic. I know he's trying to make a play. Sometimes take off. He did a good job at running the ball as well. 9 carries for 30 yards. Like I said, Michigan took 3 sacks. Northwestern's best defensive lineman, who had the most sacks, ended up leaving this game and was hurt. So that was crucial. But just the fact that the gutty of this team is being able to win this game was huge. But this game should have never been within striking distance for Northwestern. Michigan should have put them away and let them hang in the game. And this is a game where you're playing with fire continuously week after week, especially coming after a bye. And these injuries and this youth movement is going to catch up to Michigan sooner rather than later when they play good elite teams. Now, they do have to play Maryland next week, a Maryland team who's not good. It's at Maryland. Last time they went to Maryland in 23, they almost lost, but thanks to Mikey Samerstill with 2 picks in that game, was able to get out with the victory. That game, JJ was terrible. But if you play like this against Ohio State, we're going to get run out the gym in our own building, our own field in Ann Arbor. Of course, they're 10-0. They smoked UCLA last night as well, but Michigan has to clean these things up. It's disappointing. I'll take the win and it being adversity, and I do like the way after the game, Sharon did pull Bryson with the pregame and tell him, like, hey, keep your head up, man. And guys on the sideline kept telling him to keep the head up, man. But it's 3 straight games with no passing touchdowns for Bryce with a rushing touchdown. But just start the game off clean, man. Very decisive. Keep that up. But just make some smarter decisions with the football. But right now, I'm being honest with you, this team is mediocre. We're the youngest team in the Big Ten. If we did make the college football playoff, it'd be a great story for this year. But it is clear we lack the weapons outside besides Andrew Marsh. Nobody else on the defense scares anybody. We're not getting the tight ends involved enough as well. And then it's just injuries at running back. I know they keep saying it's optimistic Justice Haynes will be back, but it's not happening, man. And hopefully, Sharon said Jordan Marshall's injury is not serious. They're going to get him ready to go next week. I'm thankful that it's not injuries. That's not serious, but he was holding his shoulder and he couldn't lift it up. So, I mean, I would honestly, if we could sit him out for the Maryland game, sit him out and get him ready for the Ohio State game just to make sure he's healthy. I think Michigan can beat Maryland without him. Let Jasper Parker and Cusdaw, who ran hard, do these things. But we got Jimmy Roder back. But just these injuries and youth movement and these mistakes are going to come at a costly time, where you cannot make these mistakes against Ohio State. And even if they beat Ohio State, say if they did hypothetically, and you would play in the Big Ten championship game possibly, can't do it against Indiana. You can't do some of these better teams in the SEC. So, and some of these teams that if you make the college football playoff, it just can't be done. But they're kind of going through the fire right now, and they're winning in spite of that. And I'm gonna give Sharon a little credit just for being able to figure it out. But hey, all the mistakes that they put out a win, but it's a lot more concerning to me as well. But we'll take the win, man. It's go blue always. But these have to get cleaned up, and I don't know if we have enough time to clean it up for the game in 2 weeks, man. I believe we do beat Maryland next week, and we go into the game at 9-2, and anything can happen. Michigan usually tends to get up for this game, but they have to clean this up. 5 turnovers, dude. 2 missed field goals. Those mistakes will kill you, like I said, against better teams. So these have to get cleaned up. I need to see the turnovers increase. I need to see Bryce get some passing in the end zone. I know it's very picky of me to pick at, but we got to get some passing touchdowns on the board, man. Got to clean up him. And this is what happens when you throw a lot of true freshmen and redshirt freshmen, and even sophomores and younger guys in the lineup going through the fire. So we'll see what happens. They got the win, but like I said, it was very, very, very concerning. But the fact that they pulled it out, and it was almost a home game pretty much for Michigan in this game. But we'll take it, man. We'll take it. So let's go blue. On to Maryland next week. Sitting at 8-2, especially with some of these teams that lost. But hey, I love it. Hey, I appreciate all the love and support, but Michigan has to play better football because it's coaching as well. So it has to be better. But everything is still on the table for the guys. They're winning despite but you got to coach up harder. You got to tell them just because they won, still stuff that needs to be fixed. But hey, appreciate all of the support. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Follow me on Twitter. That's at Keeping the Score. It's your boy Adrian, and I'm out. Peace.